Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to get into this ms361 Stihl kit saw clone from Farmertec. I've had this setting here way longer than I care to remember. I did do an unboxing video. I'll probably try to put that at the end and on an end screen or something, but I know I've had this setting here for well over a year, so tonight is the night. Didn't have a lot else to do. Came back out to the shop. Like, well, we're going to see how far we can get with this kit saw tonight and try to get a video out for you guys. But with that said, I'm going to get some parts laid out here that we need and see if I can at least get the bottom end of this thing here together in the next Alrighty guys, got the cases laid out. Case gasket. What's funny, that case gasket was by itself in the bottom of the box that the cases were in. Damn near ripped the thing getting it out. I've not seen a muffler gasket or a base gasket anywhere. I'm not real concerned about the base gasket, but hope we got a muffler gasket somewhere. But what I wanted to show is the Farmertec cranks have came a long way over the years. I put some of the very first kits they had came out with together. Very like going on like 8 years ago or something. They may have been making them before that, I don't know, but I done a 372 kit, and then a year or two later I done a 250 kit. They were both horrible. Just the quality just was not there yet, but you know, I'm not gonna bore you guys with the assembly of the cases. There's lots of videos of me assembling cases. If you're a beginner, get yourself a toaster oven. Everybody has a freezer. Throw your cases in it, or you can use a heat gun. I have a heat gun here. You know, heat your cases up, freeze your crankshaft, and 9 times out of 10 they'll drop right together, or you can buy pullers and pull it all together. About putting together a older, like a Stihl 360 or 026, 260. Got 3 case bolts in here and then 2 out here. But like any other Stihl saw, really. I keep hitting the shotgun mic on the camera with my elbow. And these newer Farmertec bolts are like the Stihl OE bolts. The back side of them have like the pattern that works like using a lock washer. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's actually spinning really well, and it looks to be lined up really well. You have to remember the crank seals are already in here, so you're not going to get that just zip it around, but I mean, there's a little bit of grease out here on the end of that Stihl, and I'm able to spin it around. I'm not even going to whack on that one with the hammer any. If it's out any little bit, it'll level out as the saw gets warmed up. But okay guys, first off we've got what appears to be a flat top piston. It is a windowed piston, but what I'm finding odd, which the 200Ts are the same way, and I don't really care for that, but this is plainly a case fed setup. quad port. Squish band in it looks horrible. It's got a big step all around it, and then it steps down. It's like domed, and it just looks horrible. That's going to need more than just a little cleanup. The rest of the cylinder's not too bad. Looks to be one of their cheaper line of cylinders they use. I think my 460 had this same cylinder, what looked like the same, like it had came from the same manufacturer, but what was weird, the wiring's was not with this handle. It was in the box with the coil. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm probably gonna have to look at an IPL, honestly, because I don't have another one of these here to look at. See how exactly that goes, but the handle wasn't too bad. There was some bushings that had to be pulled into the cases. Does have a rubber AV mount back here, and of course your springs at the front, and it's got a big spring that's going to go from the handlebar, I'm assuming probably over to the cylinder. I've not looked at that. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure that out when it comes time for it. But alrighty, guys. This one has enough slop in it just to go ahead and get a time in advance, as you can see. Alright. Now, I'm going to get the cylinder on and see where everything's initially at. Again, that squish band looks like pure garbage. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you every damn little hiccup with this one I can find. First off, I'm kind of aggravated about the wiring not being in the handle, but we can figure that out. It almost looks like there's something missing that I don't have in the kit, but I'm about 100% certain that's the crankshaft lobes hitting the damn inside of the piston or bottom of the piston, because that thing spent smooth as butter before I put the piston on. Let's just see here. This is a 12mm wrist pin setup. Yeah. Smooth as silk. I honestly think we might be hitting the cases in here too with the crankshaft. Well, maybe when we put the cylinder on it won't be the case, but again, I just want to show you guys every little hiccup. A lot of people buy these kits and then throw a bunch of OEM stuff at it. And I'm just going to tell you, by the time you do that, you probably could have found one of these damn things used somewhere. I build these a lot of the times just to play with. You can get a good saw out of them, but I have put them together to where there wasn't a hiccup at all, nothing missing at all, but I have done several of them where there were parts missing, wrong parts, or just, it is what it is. It's not an OEM saw and never will be. This is starting to blow. I've not even put a screw in this. I want to show you guys something. That's at BDC. We'll have to figure that one out. Once I figure out exactly what in the hell's got it, we'll bring you guys back and let you know. Could be as simple as just a case gasket or something, but I highly doubt it. I thought that was a flat top at first glance. That thing has the ever most slightly hint of a dome in the center. That's kind of weird, but it is a good looking piston. But I swear I believe we're hitting those supports right here inside. There could even be hitting the skirts. All of it's kind of rough casted, but right here it almost feels like it's been scrubbing and almost looks to be that way. I'm going to go over and clean this up. The die grinder, I guess we're modding the piston first on this one. So I took just a few minutes with the Fordham and hitting. Hitting pretty good, really. When I first set the cylinder on, it wasn't that bad, but right there, not half bad. If I had the bolts in it, it probably wouldn't be scuffing as bad, but it sure enough is the bottom of the piston's hitting the crankshaft. That's kind of really shitty there, but anyway, I'm probably gonna quit on this thing for tonight, I guess. Getting a little late, but I'll add more to this as I get more. Alrighty guys, success, I think. I ground a lot out of the inside of that piston. That's kind of insane. But again, I wanted to show you guys every little hiccup. I've shown putting some of these together. A lot of them do go together, you know, without many issues, but I honestly think this one's going to end up being a problem solve. I could be wrong, but you know, you do run into them every now and then. But like I said, I think I'm done here tonight. The only thing I may do is see if it'll even squish a piece of. Let's go with their medium size stuff. Alrighty, we got our solder. This is the medium stuff. I'm just wanting to get an idea and see what's up here with this thing. I've not got high hopes this top end. Well, it really ain't that bad. They're pretty good mesh on it. Let me get my calipers set up and I'll bring you guys back and let you know what I find. Alright guys, got 24 thou squish. The next thing I'll probably do, and it will be tomorrow afternoon, but again, I'm going to put this whole video together. It'll be long. Some people like sitting and watching a long video. I know a lot of people have these builds. I do myself in multi-part series, but I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to show you everything I do here and any hiccup I run into in one long video. But 24 thou squish, but I'm going to check and make sure we can even cut that band. I didn't even look to see if there was a death ring. It's late. It's going on midnight. We'll look at all that tomorrow. I'll check our intake timing, see how easy that band cuts, and you know, if we can cut it at all, it'll suck if we can't, but I can make power with it regardless. We can maybe cut a pop up or something if we have to get a little more pop out of it, but 24 thou, the next thing I'll do is check intake timing and see if we can cut a bunch of material out of that band. But anyway guys, we'll update. Well, thank you Farmertec. After a little bit of homework, we do indeed have a contact spring missing. Yeah, like I said, every other one of these kits you get, there'll be something missing from it. It's just kind of odd that spring. I've searched everywhere, went back through the box, all the bags, even the trash can where I threw the bag away that came out of. But after getting so many of these kits and putting them together over the years, you know, some of them I've not even shown here on the channel, but it seems like you'll get one every now and then that's got one or two little pieces missing, but I think that thing's like $6-7, so I guess we'll get one ordered for it and get it here on the way. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get into the cylinder work and torque work on this thing and see if we can figure some of that mess out. Alright guys, pulled the torque map on it. We'd done the squish last night, 24 thou, but of course, you know, I showed that combustion chamber and band. It's just one big mess. 105 on the exhaust roof, 129 on the uppers. That seems to be all around from what I checked. Usually you'll have one open before the other, but that was all around on this particular cylinder and 68 on the intake. Which some of that's scared. I've got it clearanced, but the piston needs put in the lathe, I guess, backwards, and some of the skirt trimmed off anyway. Like it's clearing the lobe or the journals on the crankshaft, not lobes, but it's clearing them, but it can't be by a lot. But anyway, I'll yank this mess off of it and see what we can come up with, if we can even do any machine work. If not, I'm sure we can make it run good with what's there. From what I've seen, the G3666 or whatever it is, or G366, the blue saw. From what I've seen in other videos, those things make really good power, just like right out of the gate in stock form with minor mods. So we'll just have to see. Okay guys, so maybe you can see down in there what I'm talking about. I've just made a couple of light passes just to show that outer ring around that. How thick that is, I don't know. I think we're looking at least 25-30 thousandths, maybe more on it, but there is a lot of material to work with. I think we can at least get that cut out and get the band to where it doesn't have that step and is just one, slope across, I guess we'll call it, or one plane across. But that's the task for today, I guess. Alrighty guys, that is a lot more presentable. We can make some horsepower with that. If you'll refer back to how ugly that thing looked before, it is like a night and day difference. So the next thing I've got to do next is figure out exactly how much we cut out. I didn't measure. I said I'm just cutting till the band looks good and presentable. There was like little lines and nubs all down it. I don't know if the camera picked that up before, and then we had that step that went all the way around the cylinder lining. It's pretty thick itself, probably 25-30 thousandths, so I'm going to guess we took 40 thousandths plus out of this to get it looking the way it is. But once I get it on and we pull a squish reading again, I'll bring you guys back and let you know exactly how much I cut out of that, because inquiring minds are going to want to know. Okay guys, it's looking like we pulled like 45, 46 thou out. We're setting like 69, 70 thousandths squish now, so it's looking like we need to pull 40, 45 thousandths back off of the base. That's just the name of the game. Would it have ran the way it was? It would have ran. I could have worked with those timing numbers, could have made it run pretty good, but we want it to run real good. But with that said, I'm going to get this thing set up, start cutting the base, and bring you guys back when we're ready to start getting into the rest of the port work on this thing. Alright guys, there's where we're at after the machine work. I've got Squish about back where it was at. Take note that band does have a taper. So the squish gets looser as, it goes up toward the chamber, if that makes sense to you. It's not like it's 24 thou completely across. Anyway, move things 4.5 degrees or so. 109 on the exhaust roof, 133 on the uppers, and 71 on the intake. What are we going to do with those numbers? I'm going to throw numbers at it that I know works if I can move the uppers far enough. I'd like to have the exhaust roof somewhere, 104, 105-ish. Transfers 124, 125-ish. If I can raise them a little higher, it'd be cool. And get the intake somewhere, between 77, 80 degrees, somewhere in that area. But anyway, I hate to make multiple parts to this, but let me pull the cylinder off and alright guys, hopefully you can see the squish band. Turned out pretty good. Base got a good nice finish on it. Alright guys, this is part of the video. 90% of you clicked on this to watch, and I hope everybody's still hung around the video until now. Believe it or not, when you open a video and just skim through it, or just watch, say, a couple minutes of it, that tells YouTube that the video's not any good and it doesn't want to push it out to anyone else. So if you do that on people's videos, just remember, if it's somebody that you like, a creator you like, you're actually hurting their channel more than you're helping it by doing that. You know, to each their own. People can do what they want to do, but just a little heads up. Right now, what I want to do, I want to put this thing up on TDC as close to it as I can get it. We'll use our little finder and get it up on 0. We're close. I should have zeroed that thing out better than it is. There we go, dead on 0. It's kind of hard to get it this dead on, but first off, I want to make sure there's no free port. I know that's going to be about impossible because of how long the skirts are of that piston, and even after we got it to clear the other night, I still had to modify the piston some last night after lowering the cylinder to get it to clear the crankshaft. A lot of it ended up being the tie straps on the piston, or where the window's at, and where the wrist pin bosses are at. I don't know if that's going to fit in there. It's not looking like it's going to. Well, that kind of sucks. I don't really want to mark a line on it with a scribe. Maybe that one will go in. I just want to see how much I can pull off of the bottom of that piston. And maybe we can get some marks out on the side. Maybe figure out how wide the port is exactly. It doesn't look very wide. It looks like there's a lot of room to work with. Alright guys, as you can see, we have plenty enough wiggle room to about do what we want to do. What I want to do to further clearance this piston, so I've got a little bit of peace of mind, and it'll actually lighten the piston. I want to pull the rest of my intake timing off of the bottom of the piston. I'm probably going to take 30-40 thou off, come back, check intake timing, you know, see where that lands us if we get in the area that I want it to be. Kind of go from there, and then I'm going to measure and see how wide the port is, and you know, we can safely move that. You know, we can easily pick up 2 millimeters in wideness, I believe, here in widening the port, but bring you guys back. Alrighty guys, we'll probably wrap this part of the series up. I was going to do one big long video, but the deal with that contact spring, I had to order it. What's funny is Wagner's had those in stock, more than 10 of them, so it may be common that the kit doesn't come with it. So if you don't know who Wagner's are, they sell Farmertec stuff and kits. They're a dealer here stateside, but I think I ordered that kit from Farmertec. I really don't remember, it's been too long ago, but I'll move the piston if you can read that. If not, you know, we ended up 24 thou squish in the tightest part of the band. Band is on a taper. I think I went over that already. Some people, I don't know, you can either agree with that or not. I've done it both ways. I've cut bands flat across, big wide bands. I've cut them to where they're on a taper. I don't know, both make power seem to, but just decided to go that route on this because the chamber and band and everything was already on pretty steep slope once it got past that step in the band anyway. But 24 thou 104 on the exhaust roof, 126 on the uppers. That's all around. The intake I kind of overshot on the piston. It'd be easily corrected with another piston if, you know, the saw has poor idle quality or spit back or something. But that last number is crankcase pressure. You measure that in degrees. It's 44 degrees. It's the point from when your upper's shut and your intake opens, or vice versa, however you want to measure it. It matters. It plays a pretty good role in things. If you don't have enough case pressure, your sawdust ain't gonna rev out. With that windowed piston, it being case fed, I guess they've done that to save on weight. This piston, Stihl, with what I've cut out of it and took off of it, you can see you got a really nice finish on that. I am going to work this piston over some more before it goes on the saw, mainly get everything good and smooth, no sharp edges. Maybe try to lighten the pin a little more. The pin feels like it's somewhat a little lighter than a Husky 12mm pin. Seemed like one of you guys had mentioned that to me in another video when we were doing the 357 and 359 project, or the whatever we want to call it, the hot saw. That thing feels like it's gonna be nasty, but who knows? They can fool you. But video on that if you're new to the channel. It should be just a few back before this, but waiting on a clutch for that. The clutch I got was for a 350 or 455 or something. It was that little clutch with two springs in it, like a 350 or 346 or 455 uses. It was wrong when it come out of the box. It's got a fine thread pitch. The 359, 357 clutch is a coarse thread pitch, if you don't know that. But port work on this turned out pretty dang decent, really. They say you can't make chicken pie out of chicken. You guys know how that goes, but let me reposition all of this and see if I can get a little better angle and get you guys a better look at this. I should have really got out a video light, but whatever. Didn't really go crazy with that, but it's pretty slick. You guys have seen some of my videos. You can make these things look pretty nice, but you only need to get them so slick to where oil won't, or your mix carbon won't stick to them. And yes, polishing does prevent that. I've had Justin sent me a picture a while back of his 660, how things still looked, and you know, we had that saw here a while back, and saw's done a lot of work and still look pretty good. Uppers, cylinder actually ground pretty good and turned out pretty good. And get the light down on things. I've been out here a while, a little longer than I care to mention. Whatever. Messing with this. Talking on the phone. I went with Dad this morning. We cut some trees. I think I've shown how I do my intakes. A lot of other guys do something similar. I ain't gonna really call it a lung or whatever. You know, it is what it is. I've got my own way I like to do things, and I've kind of always done them that way. Anyway, guys,